pissed me off. That's my true answer. Out of 101 votes, I got 16 first place votes. That's what pissed me off more than anything. Not saying that the winner wasn't deserving of the MVP, but that pissed me off.
Yeah, LeBron. I'm so glad he said how he really felt. I feel like a lot of guys never say how they really feel about things like this in interviews. And I understand where LeBron is coming from. He should have gotten more first place votes. He had a phenomenal season. But as far as winning the MVP, I think Giannis deserved it since he had the better regular season. But LeBron was the real MVP of the NBA this season because he was the best player. And he's been the best player for a long time. It's sad how LeBron only has 4 MVPs. I think he should definitely have a few more. And if the MVP was given to the best player every year, he would have at least 10 of them. Because he was pissed off, I think he's going to keep going for it and end up winning one more MVP before he retires.
Nash beat me out twice for MVP. I still don't know how. Maybe once, but not twice over the easel. Twice, 2 times in a row. He got 2, I got 1, Kobe got 1. Something wrong with that picture. Whatever camera you're using, throw it away. Get a new camera.
You won MVP awards with that.
Yeah, one time and lost to Steve Nash twice. That's how I know it's not going to be good. Thank you very much.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Bitter?
What?
Come on. Wait.
Can
you let that go?
No, I ain't going to let it go.
That was 20 years ago.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
I feel Shaq. It is weird how him and Kobe only has 1 MVP and Nash has 2, but I don't know why Shaq feels like Nash stole 2 of his MVPs. Both of the times Steve Nash won the MVP, I felt like he deserved it over Shaq. He didn't have the most eye-popping numbers, but his impact on the Suns was amazing. Before he got to the Suns, they only won 29 games the season before. After he got there, he led them to 62 wins, which was the best record in the NBA. That year, he averaged 15.5 points and 11.5 assists, shooting 50% from the field, 43% from 3, and 88% from the line. Shaq averaged 23 points, 10 boards, and 3 assists on a 59-win Heat team, which is impressive too, but I feel like Nash's season was slightly better. Then the next season, Nash led the Suns to 54 wins, which was the 3rd best record, and he put up even better numbers, averaging nearly 19 points and 10.5 assists, shooting 51% from the field, 44% from 3, and 92% from the line. Shaq numbers slightly went down, averaging 20 points, 9 boards, and 2 assists, and the Heat won 52 games, so that's why I feel like Nash deserved it over him that year. The only players I think you can make a case for on who deserved it more was Kobe and LeBron. I think both of them had better numbers the second year Steve Nash won it, and their team success wasn't too far away from his either. During the 05-06 season, Bron averaged 31 points, 7 boards, and 6 assists while winning 50 games. In that same season, Kobe averaged 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. The Lakers was the 7th seed, but they still won 45 games, which wasn't too far away from how many games the Suns won. So if there's anyone that Nash stole an MVP from, I think the only players you can make a case for are them. But I do feel Shaq on this though.
Fred Idiot Hickman.
I was going to ask, you remember his name?
Yeah,
you hate him.
I do.
Did you ever talk to him about it?
I don't need to talk to him.
Has he ever tried to apologize? He voted for Allen Iverson.
There's nothing to apologize about because he destroyed history being a
You think he was just being a
Of course he was.
He knew that he should have voted for you.
Exactly. Come on now.
That year, he definitely should have won the MVP unanimously. The only other player that got a first place vote that season was Allen Iverson. No disrespect to AI, but he shouldn't have gotten any first place votes that season. It should have all went to Shaq. Shaq had better numbers in pretty much every category and won way more games, so he should have won it unanimously.
Were you mad during that? It's out of my control. I think once the media, they create a narrative about somebody from the beginning of the year, I think they just take that narrative and then run with it the entire year. Like,
yeah.
I don't even want to get into the details, but yeah, all I can do is control what I can do, and I went out there and did what I was supposed to do at a high level.
James Harden had one of the best seasons of all time during the 2018-19 season, averaging 36 points, 7.5 assists, 6 boards, and 2 steals, so I understand why he felt like he should have won it. But Giannis did average nearly 28 points, 12.5 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, shooting almost 58% from the field, and had the best record in the NBA, winning 60 games. The Rockets won 53 games, so I see why Giannis won it. If I had to vote though, I would have gave it to Harden that season because of how historic it was. But Giannis' season was amazing too, so you couldn't go wrong with either one of them. But ever since Harden made that statement, him and Giannis been low-key beefing with each other.
Back down and he hit Harden in the head.
I want the dribbler.
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
Offensively, we're just trying to, find whoever
James Harden was guarding.
I don't see what the joke is, but I didn't even see it. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk.
This is Russ' reaction to not being named the All-Star starter in 2018.
All-Star doesn't do anything, doesn't change anything, doesn't change who you are as a player, what you bring to the game. It's just what people think should make it. That doesn't change anything for me. Never will. That's not something I play for.
Although he played amazing that season, I think Steph deserved to be starting in that All-Star game. Many people were shocked Westbrook didn't start in the All-Star game the year before that.
He's having an historic season. He is the MVP. There's no conversation here. How in the world is he not starting in the All-Star game?
It did look kind of weird that he wasn't starting because of the historic season he was having, and that was the same season he won MVP. But I still think Steph deserves to start in that All-Star game too. Steph was on a way better team and was putting up amazing numbers himself as well. When Rudy Gobert found out he didn't make the All-Star game last season, that really hurt him.
I think it's disrespectful. I feel disrespected. It was a rough night. And then my mom called me crying. It was tough. Sorry.
That was the first time I ever seen a player cry because he didn't make the All-Star game. Rudy played pretty good that season, averaging 16 points, 13 boards, and 2 blocks, but I don't think he deserved to make it. All the other bigs who made it over him that season played better. He did somehow make the All-NBA team that season, which I think is a better achievement than making the All-Star team. I think Karl-Anthony Towns should have made it over him though. Although he wasn't on the better team, I think he's clearly more better than him.
You barely, Kemba got it. You were a couple.
I mean, that's cool and all, but like, when you go to 5 straight finals, I respect those guys, but when you go to 5 straight, I mean, it takes more than just a couple of NBA guys.
I just wanted to make that team so badly, just because it's a huge honor thing. It's to be recognized as a top 15 player in the best basketball league in the world. That's amazing. Yeah. But like I said before, the opportunity to win a championship is greater.
I was so mad when Klay wasn't on the All-NBA team last season. He should have made it to the 3rd team that season over Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker had a great season, but his numbers weren't that much better than Klay's, and Klay was on the way better team. Sometimes I wish Klay had his own team because people really be sleeping on how good he is. I had an argument the other day with one of my mans. He said Jimmy Butler is better than Klay, and that if Klay took Jimmy Butler's place on the Heat, they would have never went to the finals. I told him I think Klay is better than him, and if he was on the Heat, they would have went to the finals too. I'm curious to know what y'all think about that though. Let me know in the comments who y'all think is better.
It was always a goal of mine, but it just reproves the point that the NBA is different than the game that I fell in love with at the beginning. All the best players made an All-Star game growing up watching that, and now it's an entertainment.
You can tell when Devin Booker didn't make the All-Star game at that time, he was really hurt. But because Damian Lillard got injured, he ended up getting to play in the game anyways. And that made me hype because I felt like he definitely deserved it. I know he's going to make many more All-Star games too throughout his career. This is Paul George's reaction to initially not making the All-Star game in 2018.
I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't an All-Star. Whoever was the voters, whoever that made the list, or everybody that thought the same, wasn't an All-Star apparently.
Russ felt like he should have made it too, and even threw a shot at Dame.
Unbelievable. I think it's just outrageous in my opinion. I think, you got, I don't know who else made the team, but I know got team guys, 4 people from one team, got guys, complaining about getting snubbed until they get in.
When he said you got guys complaining about getting snubbed, this was the video of Dame he was referring to.
There's nothing that I could have done. I think the numbers speak for themselves. My team is in playoff position. We're in the 8th spot right now. So I really don't know the answer to it. I feel like I played at an all-star level.
This was Dame's response to Westbrook saying this about him.
I mean, I respect Russ a lot. So it was kind of disappointing to see him say that because he's played against me. He's played against our team. He knows what I've accomplished, not just this year, but over my career.
But because DeMarcus Cousins got injured, Paul Paul George ended up making the All-Star team. Paul George didn't feel like he deserved to play in the All-Star game this year though.
The matter is, I didn't deserve to be an All-Star. I didn't play enough games, and I wasn't out there enough.
This is Zach Levine's reaction to not making the All-Star game this season.
You saw the trend that they more went for the players on winning teams, and you know, it sucks. Everybody, you know, feel like they're deserving, but there's only so many spots. And I feel like there's a lot of guys that can make their case, but you know, it's the way it goes.
Zach Levine was playing amazing up to that point, averaging 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, but I don't think it was enough to overlook the Bulls' team success. I feel like he's definitely going to make the All-Star game one day, and I don't think it's going to be only one. It's going to be a lot of appearances.
Definitely sucks knowing that I feel like I had a really good year. And I mean, I had career numbers in a few categories as well. And it's tough to hear that, you know, people are like, yeah, you had a better year than last year. It's like, well, damn, I was an All-Star last year and borderline All-NBA.
I felt like Bradley Beal should have made it to the All-Star game this season. Statistically, he had one of the best seasons of all time and still didn't make it. I know the Wizards was whack this year, but it definitely wasn't his fault. John Wall is about to be back though, so they about to start winning again. But let me know who y'all think about was right about feeling like they got snubbed in the comments. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more vids. Peace.